Your Twitter account has several disparaging comments about women's looks.
Fast forward to right now, the billionaire businessman taking heat for comments he made about Carly Fiorina in a Rolling Stone article published yesterday.
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Trump reportedly saying, look at that face. Would anyone vote for that? Can you imagine that? The face of our next president.
For the record, it was well beyond Rosie O'Donnell.
Yes, I'm sure it will.
So what does Donald Trump have to say now? Donald Trump joins us. Good evening, sir.
Hello, Greta.
All right, Donald, I got to tell you, I do take issue with your personal comment at another candidate like that. I know you've made personal comments about others like Governor Perry and others, but what are your thoughts? Do you want to take this one back about Carly Fiorina?
No, I'm talking about persona. We were watching television. Her persona is all tied up when you think about it.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals.
Just minutes after the debate ended, Donald Trump began criticizing that question and Megyn Kelly. Many of his supporters found her question unfair, and Trump continued critiquing the question on MSNBC today.
You know, the question on the women, I didn't say many of those things. They said something, and they were giving out some words.
And honestly, Megyn, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I've been very nice to you, although I could probably maybe not be based on the way you have treated me, but I wouldn't do that.
So I have, she gets out and she starts asking me all sorts of ridiculous questions. And, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
But I wouldn't do that.
I said blood was pouring from her eyes or out of her eyes, which is a very common statement. And by the way, I said the same thing about Chris Wallace.
That's right.
Nobody said anything.
You did.
But I said the exact same thing about Chris Wallace.
But then you said she had blood. You said blood coming out of her wherever.
I said no. I said and blood was pouring for wherever.
But I wouldn't do that.
I think women all over this country heard very clearly what Mr. Trump said.
What do you make of what we've seen now, what we just discussed about Carly Fiorina and the headlines today suggesting Donald Trump has a woman problem?
Say, for example, I don't know, we have a national debate and a female moderator asked Mr. Trump about previous effusions of this kind, and then afterwards he gets a little bit agitated and complains that the questions were illegitimate and unfair. I think what had just been shown by the Carly remark is that the questions were not just apt, but right on.
But I wouldn't do that.
You once told a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice it would be a pretty picture to see her on her knees.
I don't remember that on The Apprentice.
Excuse me, you dropped to your knees.
Yes.
It must be a pretty picture you dropped into
John
your
and
knees.
Dennis thought I should be. Omarosa said me. Some other people said you. And in the end of it, I said, everyone looked at you and said...
And I don't remember. I don't know where they got some of these words, to be honest with you.
He went on to say that he'd have to check them out. Keeping him honest, we did as well.
She came to my wedding. She ate like a pig. And seriously, the wedding cake was like missing in action.
When asked why it was necessary to comment on publisher Arianna Huffington's looks, Mr. Trump replied, quote, because she is a dog who wrongfully comments on me. New York Times columnist Gail Collins wrote that after displeasing Donald Trump, he once sent her a picture of herself with the words, the face of a dog, written on it.
Does that sound to you like the temperament of a man we should elect as president? And how will you answer the charge from Hillary Clinton, who is likely to be the Democratic nominee, that you are part of the war on women?
While at Bette Midler is an extremely unattractive woman, I refuse to say that because I always insist on being politically correct.
I think the big problem this country has is being politically correct.
Because I always insist on being politically correct.
I've been challenged by so many people, and I don't frankly have time for total political correctness.
Because I always insist on being politically correct.
I think the big problem this country has is being politically correct.
At Arianna Huff is unattractive both inside and out. I fully understand why her former husband left her for a man. He made a good decision. And early this morning, Mr. Trump retweeted someone else's tweet about the night. Quote, Fox viewers give low marks to bimbo at Megyn Kelly. We'll consider other programs.
A colleague of yours mentioned something during the last debate, so this is nothing new.
We have enough problem without taunting and driving everybody crazy.
The only reason I even bring it up is, frankly, she hit me, she attacked me, and I therefore have to respond, and I've responded. And we're really talking about not a physical thing, we're talking about the persona.
I think women all over this country heard very clearly what Mr. Trump said.
but I wouldn't do that.
Nobody will protect women, and nobody cares more about women or respects women more than I do, Greta.
And then one of your top aides retweeted this, Mr. Trump, boycotting Megyn Kelly, at Real Donald Trump. We can gut her. A lot of people are wondering about this language when it comes to women. Do you worry that that kind of talk might drive some women voters away?
Well, I didn't see the last one, but she's able to take care of herself. She's somebody that's, pretty tough, and I'm sure she can take care of herself.
I'm wondering if you think, though, that going after Megyn Kelly, who is beloved by conservatives, beloved by Republican voters, I wonder if that's the wrong target, that this might actually hurt you. What do you think?
Well, look, I have nothing against Megyn Kelly. I think her question was extremely unfair to me. Her whole questioning was unfair to me.
Nobody understands and nobody wants to do more for women.
I think she's got a beautiful face, and I think she's a beautiful woman.
I don't have a lot of respect for Megyn Kelly. She's a lightweight. And, she came out there reading her little script and trying to, be tough and be sharp. And when you meet her, you realize she's not very tough and she's not very sharp. She's Zippo.
Only a deviant would say that what I said was what they were referring to, because nobody can make that statement. You almost have to be sick to sort of put that together.
And how will you answer the charge from Hillary Clinton, who is likely to be the Democratic nominee, that you are part of the war on women?
Well, look, I have nothing against Megyn Kelly.
Let's take a look at... She's a lightweight. I couldn't care less about her. But, she's just somebody I don't have a lot of respect for. I don't think she's got major talent. I don't think she's got very much talent at all.
She had great anger when she was questioning me. I'm going to do things for women that no other candidate will be able to do. She was very angry because I bested her with a question that was a very unfair question. So she was very angry. Do you think I'd make a stupid statement like that? Who would make a statement like that? Only a sick person would even think about it.
Well, I just don't respect her as a journalist. I have no respect for her. I don't think she's very good. I think she's highly overrated.
And honestly, Megyn, if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I've been very nice to you, although I could probably maybe not be based on the way you have treated me, but I wouldn't do that.
Carly Fiorina. Okay, give me a break.
We have to make great trade deals. We cannot allow to happen what's been happening for the last long period of time.
And we need brain in this country. What I say is what I say. And we need brain. This country is in big trouble. We don't win anymore.
Wow, winning.